You really wanna party with me? Ain't God we trust? Yo, it's a must that you heard of us. Yo, we. A lot of people is wondering and they curious. I mean, in my unit deal with it so mysterious, furious. All of my people is serious. Shook others be walking around fearing us. Front, baby.
It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
NBA regular season opener for a couple of teams. Thank you all for tuning in. So happy you're here. I'm ecstatic that you're here.
Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave?
There's a buzz here in San Antonio, Texas, with tip-off coming up.
Thank you, Kevin.
Thanks, David. You can tell Butler has a good head on his shoulders, an elite talent in this league because of the hard work he puts in. Opening night, regular season doors, every club in the league hoping to pile up early wins. But how important is it really to come out of the gate strong and have that look in your eye, that focus?
I think if you're a young team where the key parts and personnel are in their formative stages, this is critical to getting some confidence and feeling like, okay, I know how to win at the NBA level. If you're a more veteran-laden team, they far greater understand that the NBA 82-game grind is about pacing. So I think it depends team to team what your approach and how important the early start is.
Great analysis. Now a chance, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. The starting five on the floor. So on the floor for Minnesota, Teague runs the point with Butler at his side. They're the backcourt. Wiggins at small forward with Gibson at the 4. And it's Towns in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. The San Antonio Spurs able to put the first points up on the board.
Well, you talk about textbook shooting form from Towns. He's making that mid-range jumper consistently.
Leonard the pass to Gasol. Spurs working the ball around now. Here's Aldridge, and the dunk by Aldridge.
Check out that assist. You can tell a player who's seeing the whole floor very well.
They get a hand on it. And now Parker pushing it up. No one back to stop him. And fouled on the shot, so the bucket counts and a chance for one more here.
That's a great beginning. 3 for 3 from the floor.
And Tony Parker in the 2017 season with the lowest minutes per game average in his career. He was playing so well in the playoffs. I mean, historically well. Then, Greg, as we know, the quad injury in the playoffs.
Yeah, and it's pretty clear that 15-year run he's had as a starter, that window is rapidly closing, but still effective, just no longer the focal point that he once was.
Now here's Teague. Wiggins outside. Parker with the steal. And there's the call by the official. They'll count the basket here following the goaltending call.
And that's a tough call for the refs to make there. I'm not sure it was on the way down, but that's how they saw it.
And the Timberwolves with possession here. 7-point differential. A nice shot by Teague.
Well, the ability to stretch the defense from distance. Jeff Teague has it. He squares it up and releases quickly.
Gasol. 1 up, 1 down. 2 points with his first shot this game.
Are you kidding? 5 for 5, and they just got started.
For Minnesota, they've gone 2 of 3 here to start out the game. Leonard kicks to Parker. The kick out to Aldridge. And it's Parker at the elbow. Knocked loose. Towns with the steal. Here's Butler. Here's Gibson. And they had their chances. 2 offensive rebounds, but they still come up empty. And Parker gets it to go. The assist by Gasol. And it's 7 points for Tony Parker.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
Here's Towns. A rebound by Gasol.
The defense ready for him on that possession. They had to be because he is so strong in the paint.
Timberwolves trail by 8. Here's Wiggins. The Timberwolves again can't hit.
Maybe not that time, but he'll hit more than his share if he's left open.
And Doris, as many NBA teams are doing, the Minnesota Timberwolves now have their own G League affiliate.
Well, and to me, this is a smart move by the organization, Kev, because it gives them a lot of flexibility in how they develop players. It's a very useful tool given their young talent. Only positives have come from teams purchasing G League affiliates.
Here's what San Antonio's going with right now. Gay comes in for Pau Gasol. And it's Mills in for Parker. Jang, he's checked in for Minnesota. And the Spurs with some changes. Laverne, he's checked in for Aldridge. Kyle Anderson comes in for Leonard. And it's Ginobili in for Green. And then for Minnesota, Shabazz Muhammad's checked in for Wiggins. Crawford comes in for Butler. And Tyus Jones subbed in for Teague. And the Spurs with possession. They're on a 15-5 run.
Well, that's not easy to box out like that. It's just great footwork, and that gave him just the time he needed.
And Patrick Mills gets that whistle that time. That is his first foul of the game. Bjelica, he's checked in for Towns. Muhammad against Gay. Gay comes over with a double team. 6 to shoot, and it's going to be out of bounds. The Spurs will take it.
And with a moment, let's check out the stats for Ginobili. Last season's performance for him. Last year averaged 7 points a game, 2 assists and 2 rebounds. And those numbers, solid, not spectacular, and sometimes what you see is what you get.
There's no doubt. This is a guy who understands his role, knows he's got to give you quality minutes, and that's what they expect from him.
Here's Crawford following the bucket by the Spurs. And the Spurs, Greg, one of the best defensive teams in the league for 2 seasons running.
And it's really all about execution. They seem to just move in concert and stay connected. No silly fouls, and with their length, nothing easy inside.
Boy, just never a good idea to give this guy too many chances up the line. He's going to cash in.
Yeah, good job to take it right at the D.
The Spurs have gone 1 for 1, making their previous attempt at the line.
And when you look at their numbers from a season ago, 80% as a unit, that's something you'll be happy with.
Both free throws good from Ginobili.
I love the complementary aspect of this group now. You know, you've got the young talent, but you've brought in some veteran leadership here for the Timberwolves. The duo of Wiggins and Karl-Anthony Towns kind of gave the confidence to them to go out and acquire a superstar in his prime like Jimmy Butler.
And Greg, the core of this Timberwolves team is Wiggins and Towns. And, you know, rarely do you get to see 2 #1 overall picks team up early in their careers.
And how about back-to-back years, no less. But I consider Jimmy Butler kind of a foundational piece as well. He's in the conversation for the best shooting guard in our league. Nobody even close to him, and he can't believe he doesn't knock it down.
Timberwolves trail by 11. Puts it up from 15. It's Bjelica, and he makes the bucket through contact and gets the whistle, too.
And you just hate to give up those second chance points.
Boy, you better be more physical on the glass because they wanted that rebound more than them, plain and simple.
DeJounte Murray, he's checked in for Manu Ginobili. Here's Laverne. Rebound by Jang.
That's what we're talking about in terms of the activity level defensively. You got to protect the rim.
No, exactly, Greg, especially when the ball is that deep inside. You've got to respect how he altered that shot.
Jang, a screen. They set the screen. There's Crawford with the 3. It's good from long range. Crawford's got 5 points so far. For 3, Murray. And that's not going to go. The basket's coming early and often in the first quarter. Spurs lead by 5. And will return shortly. And a guy who seems to improve every season, Jimmy Butler. He spoke with him.
It's crazy because I never thought that anybody would be.
And hard to doubt the dedication of Jimmy Butler. He's found a way to overcome obstacles at each important point along the way.
You know, he's a self-made player. And if Butler can stay healthy, boy, the sky's the limit.
And the first quarter is in the books. Second about ready to get underway. And looking at what we've seen from the Spurs so far, guys, what do you think?
I love the fact that they're getting so many of their points at the rim. Just a solid first period.
Well, Greg, playing bully basketball on the block. Every opportunity they've wanted at the rack, they've got it.
On the court for the Timberwolves as our second quarter is underway. Shabazz Muhammad is out there with Bialits. Then it's Jones. Then it's Gorgui Dieng. And it's Crawford at the 2 guard. Second free throw, no good. Doors with every team looking to spread the floor, get that space. Most big men are being asked to increase their range. Is the practice time going into that taking away from working, for instance, on other fundamentals that a big guy should be working on?
Here's how you know this is for real. When you hear Dwight Howard talking about the fact that this guy is going to spend an entire summer trying to develop the range because he wants to extend his playing career.
Sure.
Dwight Howard at one time was the single most dominant back-to-the-basket low post center. They surrounded him with shooters. They put him in pick and roll, and he was an absolute monster. You know what? I don't know if it'll take away from the other fundamentals for the center. I do know that the role of center has drastically changed in the NBA.
Looking at who's out there now for the Spurs. LaMarcus Aldridge, he's checked in for Laverne. Kawhi Leonard comes in for Anderson, and it's Green in for Patty Mills.
And remarkable how Gay cuts to the basket. Terrific at getting the defense to body him on that drive.
Taj Gibson's checked in for the Timberwolves. Wiggins comes in for Jamal Crawford. No good on the second, so he hits 1 of 2. Before his injury, Rudy Gay had made some strides on the defensive end. In general, Greg, he doesn't get enough credit sometimes for his impact on that side of the ball.
Yeah, Gay has always been a great ball hawk. I mean, he's got long arms to pick off lazy passes. He gets a good amount of blocks for a wing player as well. Very much so underrated when you talk about his defense.
Gasol with the steal.
And you've got to do a better job of making sure the defender isn't in your space. I mean, if you're going to pump fake, you've got to make sure he doesn't have a chance for the steal.
Minnesota calls timeout.
Well, I mean, he needs to talk to his guys. The interior defense has been horrific.
Absolutely no rim protection whatsoever. At this point, the other team is walking all over them on the inside.
Karl Anthony Towns checked in for the Timberwolves. And Gasol sends it back.
And really, Gasol does an incredible job getting his hands up in the air, which results in a ton of rejection.
Timberwolves trail by 11. Pushing it up. Here's Towns. The shot's good on the assist by Butler.
Yeah, sprinting end to end, but under control. That's the key.
No, exactly right, Greg. You can't go too fast. He pulled that off in brilliant fashion.
And nobody, guys, among the defenders stepping up to challenge him on that drive to the 10.
And Greg, he says, thank you very much, and sails in for the flush.
Yeah, you know, they may have gotten the feeling he would dish it off, but he had a surprise for them.
And keeping us updated from the side. That jam!
Get out of the way. How about the creativity, the athleticism? That's a rare combination for a guy his size. Go to work, Cat.
And that was Under Armour bringing you that replay. Unleash chaos. And what a play it was. Parker's checked in for Murray. Parker outside. To the inside. And it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Green. And a look now at the 4 areas where shots can come from. The paint, mid-range, and shots from deep, all broken down for the Spurs.
And they've been doing a great job of getting into the paint and scoring inside. The defense allowing them easy access to the rim, and boy, are they taking advantage.
Rejected by Gasol. Second quarter of play with almost 3 minutes gone. And that one's good. Parker.
And what about the way Gasol sees the floor? So gifted at whipping the ball all over to the open man.
And the Spurs last season, how about setting the all-time record for consecutive winning seasons with 20? This is a group that's won 50 or more games in every one of those seasons except the strike-shortened one in '99.
And he gets the bucket.
Yeah, and from mid-range, Leonard's jump shot is money. It doesn't matter if it's off the dribble or catch and shoot. He never loses his touch.
Now here's Towns. He has 6. And there's the whistle on the shot. Took the foul. Shot misses. He'll be shooting 2. And there's the call. San Antonio the foul. For Minnesota, they have gone 4 for 5 from the charity stripe in this one up to now.
And as a team, excellent a season ago, about 80% when they got to the line.
San Antonio making a switch here. Ginobili's checked in.
Well, that's a plus to Towns' game, right? He was a great free throw shooter in college, and that's carried over.
Butler kicks to Teague. And it's Towns penetrating, and he gets that one to go off the front iron. Towns has got 9. And Greg, for the Spurs, they're so competitive. It's inevitable. They just win year after year.
Yeah, but that big three of Duncan, Parker, and Ginobili, the all-time winningest trio in the history of our league, had a lot to do with it. And as that era comes to an end, they're doing a terrific job of just picking up new star talent without skipping a beat.
Doris, when you watch Towns on the court, he's as large as advertised on paper, but moves and plays much more like a guard. It's something that you see more and more in today's NBA, and it seems like he's leading the charge.
No, agreed, Kev. This guy has the ability to handle the basketball like a guard, and that allows him to create separation with the bounce. He can hit step-back jump shots, can spread the floor. A lot to like about his offensive arsenal.
Jones against Parker, and LeBron throws it down.
Yeah, the assist by Parker, just brilliant. Really seeing his teammates out there.
Towns, a screen on Parker. Out to the right wing. It's Bjelica. His three-pointers off the mark. Spurs leading by 10. Here's Laverne. Excellent D that time from Jones.
Not the kind of strong finish it should have been. Something threw him off.
5 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Towns sets the pick for Jones. The pass to Towns. Ring shot on the way. San Antonio with the rebound. 13 points was their biggest lead in the game. Here's Parker. Keeps it alive. And Gabe with the second chance points. And the Spurs lead by 12.
Oh, and a nice job of turning that miss into 2 points on the tip-in.
Hustle points, I believe they call them. Hustle points right there. And so it's the San Antonio Spurs up by a dozen here at the end of the quarter. What a night they've had in terms of the... Thanks, David. And we'll be back shortly following halftime to get the third quarter underway.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime
Ernie Johnson
Show.
here with Shaq and Kenny, and a favorite time of a pretty close game for the Spurs throughout the first quarter. At the end of one, they were able to end up with a 5-point lead. They dialed up the pressure quite a bit in the second quarter at both ends, and it worked out well for them as their lead grew all. That about wraps it.
A grand view of the well-attended Alamo on a beautiful night. Here's Teague, Aldridge, and Kawhi Leonard, the two stars at the forward spots. Parker and Green are the guard set, and it's Gasol at the 5 spot. So that's who Greg Popovich starts the second half with.
Well, you think about Tom Thibodeau as the architect of so many great defensive teams. For Minnesota, it took some time on the defensive end, but he feels like this team is starting to turn a corner on that end.
And Aldridge comes over to help. Parker against Teague. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Here's Butler. Towns, and it's Towns on the follow. Towns has got the first points of the third quarter up on the board for Minnesota.
A second chance bucket, right? You have to put a body on Towns or he'll devastate you.
And for Thibodeau, you simply can't play for him unless you exert maximum effort on defense. Doris, he can be tough, but fair in what he demands.
Well, as long as you're willing to work hard every single day on every possession, you can play for Tom Thibodeau. This is a guy who constantly preaches the importance of the little things, and he wants proper defense to become second nature for his team. While the height advantage in this matchup becomes a big factor when he's in the low box.
3 trips to the line so far for him in this one. San Antonio leading by 7. Parker kicks to Aldridge. Nice ball movement by San Antonio. Here's Gasol. Good, and it's Green picking up the assist. Gasol's got 8 points.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today? Ending with a basket, coming off a pretty pass.
And it's Gasol with the rebound.
Oh, not a good look there, guys. No one near him, and he still clangs one off the rim.
And we've got an update here, so let's catch up with David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, Karl Anthony Towns was voted by GMs last season as the player they most want to build a franchise around. But he is not resting on his laurels. He said, "I work hard on my game. I want to be the strongest player, the most intelligent player, and the most skilled player on the court at all times." Kevin?
Thanks, David. That work ethic will definitely help Towns get better. He's already a dynamite player.
And really one of the quickest guards in our league. Jeff Teague just puts tremendous pressure on your defense when he's attacking the paint. Well, this here is a game. Good run to close the gap.
Yeah, they ramped up their intensity, forced good things to happen, and now they're right back in it.
And the shot goes down. He's got 6. Timberwolves trail by 6. Outside Gibson. And Aldridge comes over to help. And out of bounds as the Spurs gain possession. And the book on T. Greg is to make him an outside shooter. You don't want him getting to the rim.
I mean, he's a good finisher around the rim. His outside shooting, although streaky at times, not bad, but not great either.
Looking at who's out there now for the Spurs. Murray's checked in for Green. And it's Mills in for Tony Parker.
The ball movement on this run has been fantastic and is a big part of why they've been able to get these good looks.
Teague with the ball. Third quarter here, and 3 minutes have come off the clock. And it's sent back by Aldridge. Here's Murray. Oh, and he plucks it off the glass. Wow. Here's Teague. Offensive rebound.
Every time they get scored on during this run, it's come from inside the paint.
Leonard and Kawhi Leonard with the slam.
Oh, an aggressive move and fantastic finish.
Trying to send a message with that slam, I think. Here's Minnesota. They're on a 14-6 run. Higgins outside. Dishes it to Butler. And Teague has it in the corner. Lock at 6. Zhang, a screen. Shot off the screen. And it comes off the front of the rim. San Antonio leading by 4. The Spurs offense, one of the most efficient in the NBA. It's all predicated, Greg, on motion.
And it's ball movement and player movement. They kind of want to warp the defense and force mistakes, and that's when they strike.
Looking at who's out there now for the Spurs. Laverne, he's checked in for Gasol. Anderson comes in for LaMarcus Aldridge. Rudy Gay's checked in for Leonard. And it's Ginobili in for DeJounte Murray. There's the dish to Zhang. Right on the bucket. Zhang's got 4 this quarter.
Well, the power and length of Gorgui Zhang. He holds up well in traffic.
And Mills kicks to Laverne. A shot, no good. And Minnesota will come the other way. In the corner, it's Crawford. Here's the floater. And the layup is up and in. Crawford's got it all tied up now for Minnesota.
He knew what he wanted to do all along. The teardrop.
The Spurs shooting an ugly 27% since halftime. It's 9 seconds separating the shot clock and game clock. Kicks to Anderson. 9 feet out. Tries yet again. It's deflected. Crawford up top. He's covered by Ginobili. Crawford, no luck.
And that's the shot you want to create. They just can't get it to fall.
Well, certainly a disappointing result, but they'll live with the shot. You know, they'll take that every time.
For the lead. And it would have counted had it fallen, but it's offline. And we've reached the end of the third quarter. Just a terrific game so far. Spurs out in front, leading by just 2. Live from the AT&T Center in San Antonio, you're watching 2K Sports. And now a sneak peek into the huddle with Greg Popovich.
This game is a big boy.
And thanks for joining us again as the fourth quarter of play is set to get rolling. It's been a close battle to this point. So on the floor for Minnesota, Jones is out there with Crawford. Then it's Gorgui Dieng. Then there's Shabazz Muhammad, and it's Gibson in at the power forward. Timberwolves trail by 4. And here's Jones. Poke loose. It's off his foot. And the ref's saying he kicked it. Parker's checked in for San Antonio. And the call will be against LaMarcus Aldridge. That's his 4th foul of the contest.
Oh, picked up his 4th foul. Maybe have to scale back his aggressiveness with plenty of time left in this one.
Green, he's checked in for San Antonio. And Gibson kicks to Crawford. Nice ball movement by Minnesota. 5 to shoot. Gibson with the screen on Parker. And Parker comes with the help. Jones for 3. Nailed from three-point land.
Well, Taj Gibson's so adept at creating opportunities for his teammates as a screener. It's an underrated aspect of his game.
And they've had assists now on their last 3 baskets.
Minnesota with the ball. They trail by 3. Jones against Parker. Jones dishes to Crawford. True on the 14-footer.
Boy, the assist just put on time and on target. Easy shot opportunity.
Aldridge left side. And the rejection by Dieng.
Oh, the 7'3" wingspan erases that shot. Nice by Gorgui Dieng.
And the call will be against Tony Parker. That is his first foul of the game. And the Spurs making a change here. Gasol's checked in. Minnesota also with the sub. Teague is checked in for Jones. And some changes here for the Timberwolves. Towns comes in for Gorgui Dieng. And Wiggins is subbed in for Shabazz Muhammad. Parker with the steal. Now here's the fast break. Parker leading the way. And fouled on the shot, so the bucket counts and a chance for one more here.
And what strength there by Parker. Be able to take the hit and still drain the shot in the process. He is just a remarkable athlete with tremendous finishing ability.
And Tony Parker in his prime, one of the best slashing point guards this league has ever seen. Just an outstanding finisher amidst the tall players. And one season, how about he almost led the league in points in the paint, a surefire Hall of Famer. And the shots just continue to say no in terms of falling.
He kicks it to Gay. Here's Gasol. That shot missing. Towns with the defensive effort. And a bit of a down year for Tony Parker in 2017. His lowest three-point percentage in 5 years. Lowest free throw percentage in 9.
Yeah, I mean, you'd like to see him hitting threes at a higher clip. The previous couple seasons, he shot it up over 40%. And a great way, I think, to boost his offense, even though he has slowed down a bit.
Kawhi Leonard is checked in for Rudy Gay. And a change for the Timberwolves. Butler's checked in. Timberwolves trail by 3. T kicks to Towns. Towns is doubled. Outside Gibson. Pass to Butler. Towns a screen on Green. Just 4 to shoot. And it's Wiggins missing.
Absolutely tenacious guy. Stuck right on him defensively. Bothered that shot.
Outside Aldridge. Back to Green. Gasol inside. Towns on him. And the rejection by Towns. And that's out of bounds. San Antonio will retain possession. We're in the final quarter of play here. 3 minutes in. Shot clock at 5. Here's Gasol.
Well, his value to this team on both ends. Not many guys can defend the perimeter and the rim the way Towns can.
And it's Gibson finishing it off.
Gibson, unafraid in a big moment. What a big-time delivery.
Parker passes to Green. Leonard dishes to Gasol. Aldridge inside, defended by Gibson.
And guys, right now, the defense mentally not there. Can't afford too many of those in a close game like this.
Yeah, Jay, you're right. Almost a free run for him there.
Yeah, with the score this tight, someone has to come over and take the charge, or at least contest the shot. How about the calm demeanor of Towns? Well made for pressure situations.
Parker kicks to Gasol. And Aldridge, the basket on the assist by Gasol. And that's 12 points for LaMarcus Aldridge.
Oh, that's a pretty bounce pass. Nice.
T kicks to Gibson. Pass to Butler. Here's Towns. Rebounded by the Spurs. Aldridge has got rebound number 7 for him tonight. 1:03 left here in the fourth quarter. Towns with the steal. Wiggins against Leonard. Towns. Yes! And what a sensational bucket to bring them within 1.
And he's just putting the team on his back when he's needed most.
Don't you just love to see that confidence when taking these big shots?
From 6 away. Aldridge, no luck.
And being that close to the hoop, I thought he had enough room to finish that one.
Towns gets the bucket and the foul. They get Paul Gasol.
When your stars shine bright in the toughest moments, Towns, the look of a superstar. I mean, he's as close to automatic when he's up at that line, especially when the ball game's a close one.
We've got 33 seconds left in the fourth. Parker passes to Leonard. Gasol dishes to Parker. And stolen by Jeff T. And out of bounds as San Antonio gains possession.
And it's still within reach.
Maybe, but they've got to score every time they touch the ball.
Parker outside. He feeds it to Green. In the corner, it's Aldridge. Right side, Leonard. Over Wiggins. Yes! And tie game. That is a huge basket right there.
I'll tell you, you're not going to find a much more confident basketball player. He always believes the points are going to come.
And now the presentation of our Jordan Player of the Game, Karl-Anthony Towns.
And guys, he's been about as close to perfection as you can be. The intensity he's played with has been amazing. Just no let up. And as fired up as he's been, he's never let his emotions get out of control.
That's a 2 from Butler. Oh, and he had a chance to win it right there, but couldn't get it to fall. And regulation now complete. We will go to overtime. We'll get right back to the action when we return. Well, if you're just joining us, this one has been a great one. We've got overtime action now, folks. Tip-off goes to Minnesota. And so they have the first opportunity on offense right here as we begin overtime. All fueled up and ready to go to overtime basketball here, brought to us by Gatorade. Let's check out who's on the floor. On the court for San Antonio, Mills and Manu at the guards. Pau Gasol is out there with Kawhi Leonard. And it's Gay in at the small forward. Here's Leonard. And the rejection by Jang. And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Jang. Here's Mills. That's good, and it's Leonard with the assist. Mills has got the game tied up here for San Antonio. Now here's Teague, guarded closer. No coverage that time. And that's now 30 points for Karl-Anthony Towns. Here's Gasol, and finished off by Gasol.
And
Gasol is someone you turn to in these situations. Need a big basket? He's ready to go.
For Minnesota, they've gone 2 of 3 from the floor as we've gotten this overtime period underway. Towns, no luck.
And it's not easy to get those stops at the rim, but he does a great job with it.
Yeah, he can make it look simple on the interior when it's really not. He knew exactly how to guard on the
And that unpredictable nature of Ginobili, it can be frustrating for the defense, especially when he's cutting them to pieces with his passing.
That was a great angle we just saw, courtesy of Under Armour. Another unleash chaos moment. Tries again. Here's Jang. Persistence pays off as they finally hit a shot.
This is a big-time high-character guy and proving he can be clutch as well.
Time called here. The Spurs decide to talk it over. And some changes here for the Spurs. LaMarcus Aldridge is checked in for Kawhi Leonard. Green comes in for Manu Ginobili. And Parker subbed in for Patty Mills. Taj Gibson's checked in for Minnesota. Gasol gets to Green. Out to Parker. Spurs passing it around. Teague against Parker. Here's Wiggins, and there's the call on Karl-Anthony Towns. That'll be his second foul of the game.
Now, plenty of energy left for key situations. The young Andrew Wiggins, determined.
San Antonio trailing here. Outside Gasol. Parker outside. Here's Aldridge. And it's good on the assist by Parker.
And now this game is becoming a showcase for Aldridge. He's been out of control. A one-man team. Now it's just a matter of getting him the ball and getting out of his way.
Crawford kicks to Towns. Over Gasol. That one wide left. The Spurs have gone a stellar 4 of 5 from the floor since the start of overtime. Pass to Aldridge. He dishes it to Green. Good-looking screen by Gasol. Out to Parker. Back to Gasol. It's in!
And that's why Gasol's teammates trust him. His ability to hit these shots time and time again is what makes him such a special player.
Butler, he's checked in for the Timberwolves. And stolen by Aldridge. And stolen by Wiggins. Parker with the steal. And out of bounds as the Timberwolves gain possession. Absolutely critical chance right here.
They need this one to go their way.
Oh, Kev, Jimmy Butler loves to rise to the occasion, sticks it right in the defense's face.
6-second difference between shot and game clock. Here's Gasol, but they recover it. Green kicks to Gasol. The dunk and the foul, a powerhouse move, and he's got a chance for one more at the line. It's going to be on Andrew Wiggins.
Boy, it doesn't get much bigger than that. A perfect trip to the line to give them the critical three-point cushion. What poise.
Minnesota calls timeout. They're trailing by 3. There's 14 seconds left in the first overtime. Guys, your thoughts?
And right now, you can go for the 2 and then a quick foul or go for the home run.
Well, you've got to be smart regardless of what you choose to do. You shouldn't just heave the 3 if it's not there. Let's see what happens.
And now they are probably too far ahead. It's going to be nearly impossible to get back in this one.
Well, there's no doubt. They're really clicking. What an amazing all-around effort to take a huge lead like this late in the game. Oh, my goodness. The cool attitude of Jeff Teague. Such patience in a big-time moment. You have to love his heart.
And so it's San Antonio who's straight by with the win. They had to scrape and claw to push it to overtime, but they really came on in the extra period.
What a ride. I mean, I thought it might end in regulation, but you know what? They came through big and did exactly.
All right, David, thank you. And that about does it for the first game of the new NBA season. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. See you next time.